My name's Duddits, I do builds and stuff. Today's video is going to be a poison tech build, poison and Techsec gear set. We're going to be looking at Spirit of the Necrotic and how this interacts with the Techsec gear set. Loads of kinetic damage against shielded enemies. Kinetic damage via our kinetic weapons like Osteostriga, Necrocasm specifically, and glaive melees actually get kinetic buffs from the Techsec. Add that with your poison, and we're going to be spreading some massive poison numbers. So stay with me, I'll break it down. So because this glaive is going to be primarily a melee focused glaive build, what I want to start off with is the actual melee stat. Now if you take a look at this, my melee stat's 76. I'm not getting any melee damage whatsoever increase. This is just a standard number with a glaive. And I hit this acolyte for 227, just one more time, 227. And then what I'm going to do in the next clip is put my melee stat up a little bit. I'm going to put it to, just for now, I think it goes to like 170 or something like that. But you'll see 146, 14% extra damage. So the first number was 227. And I'm just doing this to show you that the melee stat actually improves your glaive damage. Just to sort of start the video off there, just so it all makes sense. So 259. That's the 14% damage increase. Now we're going to add in Synthoceps or Spirit of the Synthoceps. This also gives you 165% damage with your melees and obviously working with glaives. And pairing it up with the Spirit of Necrotic, damaging targets with your melee, poisons them, defeating a poison target, spreads the condition. But just for now, we'll focus on the Synthoceps. So you're going to see an increase yet again. Bearing in mind, I've got a lot higher stats as well. I'm just showing you this for an example, and that will go up to 739, so that's your increase from your melee damage and the Synthoceps all stacking together. Now, because we're also using Spirit of Necrotic, we're going to be focusing on Necrocasm. This weapon spreads the poison, so does things like Osteostriga, Thorn, other weapons as well, but just for now, I'm going to be focusing on Necrocasm. Cursebringer, for precision final blows with this weapon, trigger a Curse Thrall explosion. That's quite important for this build, and it increases reload speed for a short time. Final blows with Curse Thrall explosions, refill the magazine. We've also got Desperado on there as well, Desperation. It's going to increase the rate of fire, and it's also got the Catalyst on there, one for all, basically one for all, 30% damage increase. All these working together feels like a very nice weapon. Now, like I mentioned, there's all different types of weapons, Osteo, other weapons as well, like Thorn, Malfeasance. You can spread the poison as well. Like I said, I really like Necrocasm. I think it's a really good weapon. Getting a kill whilst you've got Necrotics on will just keep spreading that poison. They all interact with each other. The other problem I found with Necrocasm, especially in high-end activity, is the shielded enemies. Necrocasm, even Osteostriga and Thorn, they sort of struggle against shielded enemies, in my opinion. You'll see in this clip here, it's taken quite a long time to kill these shielded enemies, especially the shields. It takes like an eternity. That's what sort of lets Necrocasm down, in my opinion. But we've got a little workaround for that via a gear set. Just one more look, you'll see also that the poison in this clip as well, if you pay attention to that, I'm not getting any yellow numbers. I'm replaying the same clip because I want you to pay attention to these numbers that I'm getting from this poison. I am not getting any yellow numbers at all from the poison. So this brings me on to the gear set. Techsec. You deal significantly increased kinetic damage to combatant shields, overshields, vehicles, and constructs. And the 4-piece, defeating powerful combatants or breaking a combatant shield with kinetic, releases a disorienting blast. So it also leaves them sort of blinded as well. But that 2-piece bonus with Necrocasm and all kinetic weapons, I've covered it quite a lot on the channel, so you people who watch this channel will know I'm well onto this, but look at the difference it makes. It goes through them shielded enemies like a hot knife through butter, no problem. And if you notice there, look what's happening with that poison and the Curse Thrall explosion. That is also getting the benefits from the Techsec gear set as well. Now, if you add in a glaive as well to this build, now glaive melees are actually counted as kinetic damage, so that also works with your Techsec. So you're going to get kinetic boosts on your glaive. Great for shielded enemies, pairing up with your Synthoceps. Now, in this clip, I do not have Techsec equipped, and I want you to again pay attention to the poison numbers and any sort of yellow numbers, I'm not getting them. That's because I'm not running the Techsec. Now, when I put the Techsec gear set back on and do the exact same thing again, you're going to notice a big difference. It's one of these things I tested for about an hour last night, and I wasn't getting them yellow numbers at all from the poison when I didn't have Techsec equipped. So that's sort of showing that the poison and the Techsec are interacting together. We're getting loads of extra damage. You don't get them yellow numbers, and on top of that, you also get that blinding sort of disorienting effect as well. On top of that, pop your Song of Flame, get your glaive out, and things just start popping. You're going to get all that extra damage against shielded enemies from the Techsec and all that sort of blinding effects as well. Now, there's a real lot more to go to this build as well, but I just want to sort of focus on Necrocasm as well. Now, the Case Fall Explosion also does extra damage against shielded enemies, so that's just an added bonus. Now, there's quite a lot of builds at the moment with Synthoceps Assassin, Synthoceps Necrotics on Warlocks with your Lightning Surge. It's just an awesome build. Get your glaive out, your Techsec, it's just going to boost them type of builds out to another level, especially for shielded enemies. It's just going to be really, really strong. So I've got some thoughts on it as well, like the sort of shielded enemies, the scenario, the sort of conditions is very rare. You don't really get it, but it just buffs your build out. What my build specifically is, I just went all out for melee damage. I went 204 melee damage, a decently high health stat. At the moment, I'll probably buff this out over the next couple of days with some different gear sets, but getting that 30% melee damage with your Lightning Surge, add that on, get your Devour on top of there as well. You're going to get healing on tap, your Lightning Surge, we all know how good that is. Obviously, you feed the Void, and then on top of that, we're going to be running the Arcane Needle as well, so we can get 3 Lightning Surge melees on the tap. Pair that up with your Necrotics and your Synthoceps, and you're going to do loads of damage and loads of poison damage. Like I said, it's a build that is sort of being covered a lot. I was like the first person to do this build when this class item come out a few seasons back. Your Lightning Surge melee, 3 of them Arcane Needles with your Synthoceps Assassin, Synthoceps Necrotic, and you can spam these monstrous melees left, right and centre. Pretty much infinite loop with your Prismatic. Now, there's an incredible fragment that you should run on your Prismatic called Facet of Grace. Defeating targets with kinetic weapons, i.e. your Osteo, your Necrocasm or your Fawn, is going to give you bonus Transcendence energy, and every time you use your super, i.e. Song of Flame, you're also going to get Prismatic energy from kills via that super. So pair these two together and you can go onto that little loop of infinite lightning surges basically. And the other thing to mention with Song of Flame, that will also work with your Necrotic as well. Your melee will also scorch and give you that poison damage as well. So it all works nicely together. Like I said, this is a build that's sort of become really popular over the last couple of seasons. The way I see this particular build with Techsec, so basically what we're going to be doing is going to add Techsec to your Synthoceps builds. And what it does is it just buffs it out to another level. And what I was really asking myself, is it worth farming? Is it worth me telling you guys to go farm out a Techsec sort of gear set for your glaive builds? It definitely is, like 100%. The other thing I want to ask you guys as well, I had a real lot of trouble finding some melee-focused Techsec gear. It took me an absolute eternity. 99% of the gear that I got rolled health and melee. Let me know if you guys was having that problem as well. But definitely worth farming out a Techsec melee set just for glaive builds. As I said, it's going to massively improve all of your melee builds. And just getting that extra kinetic damage for your primary weapons such as Necrocasm and Osteo, things like that, is just an added bonus. What I'll do with this particular build, I'm going to leave my fragments sort of playing out. I'll also leave all my mods. I will also leave a dim link as well. But that pretty much wraps up this video. I really wanted to show the popular sort of melee glaive builds, Lightning Surge builds working with Techsec and Necrotic. It just works really nicely. And like I've said a couple of times already, I should definitely farm out a Techsec gear set, especially high melee stat, just for your remaining or existing glaive builds that you've got. It's just really strong. buffs them out to another level. I hope you found this video helpful. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.